again, hello everyone. Welcome to Login and ESET Space for a Safer Internet. Today we have a workshop regarding security in bigger corporations, and our specialist Ihor today will talk a little bit about the solutions that might be applied towards this goal. And with no further ado, please.
Hello everyone. Today I'd like to do it not like a conference, not like only a speech where I'm a speaker, but as talks, as a workshop. And the main topic would be about real world, where your personal data, your personal accounts, your computers, and all your things are like a goods in supermarket, like a milk or so. Okay, few words about me. I'm originally from Ukraine, but last few years I do cybersecurity project here in Vilnius and in Netherlands, in Germany. And during my job, I met a lot of interesting cases, a lot of interesting insights about cybersecurity market and cybercrime market. And I will start from cybercrime market. Today we have really powerful computers, really powerful smartphones. It allows us to work fast, to do things fast, but it also allows to automate cybersecurity activities and cybercrime activities. Here is a Karna botnet. This map was created 5 years ago, and it takes 8 months to gather all the world's IP addresses.
So sorry, I can't really hear. Can you put the mic?
Okay, okay. This is all world IP addresses, and this is like a dynamic with a night and day. To computate all this stuff on commercial, it takes maybe few $1 million, but for botnet owners it costs maybe a few $1,000s to maintain command and computer servers. And we will talk about pricing. It's all about pricing. Cybersecurity is about pricing and cybercrime about pricing. And all your private data, it makes like a reasonable price. For example, if you want to make some DDoS attacks, it costs only $60 per day or $400 per week, and you could make a reachable site like Delphi or site like, I don't know, any site without powerful DDoS protection, commercial DDoS protection. It's cheap, and it's cheap to maintain. It's cheap to obtain and maintain. When DDoS attack botnets are gathered, it works like a normal business, like a normal advertisement system, like a normal delegation with a team, with a different team. So some guys working on the software, they produce some exploitation tools, some Trojans, some backdoors to put botnet software on your computer, on your smartphone. And it costs almost nothing to use this network to make really huge damage. For example, you could imagine if some bank, for example, here in Lithuania, Seb-bankas or Švedbankas, if they will be unreachable for a few days, it like almost stops the economy. But it could be, and it will cost not only $60, but it will cost like few $1,000s, but it's almost nothing according to damage it would. Talking about specific things, ransomware is like a powerful and really common treatment for now. For example, all of you knows that WannaCry incident. It's like one of most popular and one of most powerful and damaged incident we have for a few years, I guess, for 4 to 5 years. It works really easy. It was like a weapon at the beginning. It was like a script for NCA, American Security Organization, and it was stealed by hackers and published. So everyone who wants to make some cybercrime business could just Google it and do something with it. Average cost for normal malware starts from $10. It also works like soft as a service model, so like a classical soft as a service SaaS model, and it's easy to obtain this botnet. It's easy to start with it, and it's allow for cybercrimes. It's allow to make some really huge money and steal your data, encrypt your data. They could control your computer. They could control your, for example, if we talk about ransomware for mobile phones, they could control your mobile phone and all your accounts on it. So it's easy, but it's also very cheap, and it works like this economy works like mobile application economy. So to start your botnet, you need just to find the right guys who provide you soft as a service. So you could have your own command center, and you need to find the right guys who will provide you services like advertisement by cost per install model. It costs a few cents per install. It's awesome, but it's really dangerous. And starting from ransomware, it's also important to talk about compromised access. For example, all of you who are using Windows, few days ago was published NCA, another NCA tools. It is also very dangerous as it was WannaCry, but this tool is specialized on remote desktop exploitation. So if you have Windows and you have like a public IP, it's really dangerous because someone could just scan it and make some exploitation, and you will lose your computer. So guys could, for example, they could load own software on your computer. They could use your computer as a gateway to make some crimes. For example, they could log in on your computer and use it to buy something with a stealing credit cards on Amazon, and police will have only your IP, and it would make some problems for you. And it also costs almost nothing. For example, average RDP price starts from $10 on black market. So for just for $2 you could buy some compromised computers from Asia or Russia or some developed country. For $20 you could buy some United States or UK computers, and you could use it as you want. It's almost impossible to prevent it if you are not a little bit paranoid about it. So you need to keep your critical information safe, because you never know when it will be public. Talking about cybercrime and all this infrastructure, they need to keep platforms, they need to keep websites and command and control centers online. That's why there are some hosting providers called like a bulletproof hostings. Their main advantage and feature, they don't care about any abuses from police, from Europol, from any governmental organizations. They are using networks from offshore island, and for example, countries like Belize, it's like a default choice for bulletproof hosting. And it's also really cheap services. It's comparing to traditional servers, it's costs like only twice times more. But on these servers, you could keep even child porn if you want, if you cybercrime. Nobody care, and that's why in the United States we have no activities here in Europe, but in the United States there was some laws increasement in according to this situation. For example, a few years ago, it was like a first ever situation when Microsoft was able to undelegate domains used on bulletproof hostings to stop Zeus botnet. It was like a banking, really massive banking fraud system. Talking about exploitations, if you could imagine to lose your computer, you need just to enter the website. It's strange to hear it, but let's say if someone could hack website, they don't want to make it like to put some pictures like ISIS does, or to make some funny stuff. It's also about commercial exploitation of anything. It's really rational guys, and they're trying to make money. That's why they could use some JavaScript redirection to redirect you on exploit kits. They are working like soft as a service or platform as a service, and it costs. It's affordable for any cybercrime guys, and it is 10% of success rate. For example, from 100 visitors, you could get 10 zombies, and you could use zombies as you wish, as you want. And to use this stuff, you need just only wish. You don't need even technical skills. Nowadays, it's work like it's easier than to install WordPress. So it works just in automated way. You need just to click and pay and get money. It's strange, but for the last 10 years, nobody could do anything with that. We have what we have. And talking about all the cybercrime things, I need to talk about the barriers. The barriers to enter this niche, this cybercrime sphere is really low. And one thing to help keep this barrier low is like an informational business. For example, on platforms you could get even some services like massive online courses. So you could start your course about how to steal credit cards, or how to make botnets, to make DDoS on any website in the world. And it costs almost nothing. It starts from less than $1 for PDF manual to some few $100 to get some really useful video tutorials, or even with practical materials. So some databases you could exploit, some training sessions with two tutors. So it's industry. And at the end of all these activities, your credit cards or your another banking accounts, PayPal accounts, and other money. So the reason why it's happened, the reason is money. That's why the amount of stolen credit cards and accounts is really massive. But the problem is not to steal your card. The problem is to get money and to have time to spend this money. That's why it works like a supply chain. Some guys trying to exploit your machine, your computer. Some guys try to find any credit card credentials on your computer. They classify your logs. They trying to sniff your traffic, and they get the numbers. Then they aggregate these numbers and do some like checks. If there are some money on your account, it costs a lot. They could use it for their own. If your credit card is protected or it's difficult for some reason, it's difficult to use it, they just aggregate all guys like you and sell it like milk in a supermarket. So just you could buy for $100, you could buy like a few hundreds of credit cards, and it's easy. It's really scary, but it's easy to buy some credit cards, and it's easy to steal this money. Talking about online payment account, I'm even not talking about PayPal and like a normal systems. There are some, for example, payment systems like Bitcoins, like alternative, and it is also a problem for them. It is also a problem for companies like WebMoney. It's really popular in Russia, like Kiwi. It's also from Russia. It's like a industry standard to steal money from these companies. A lot of suppliers and a lot of demand to make some fraud on these accounts. It is like a specialized teams who are working only to keep this data updated and to have information about accounts, about the money on these accounts, and they hold this information, and they have like it looks like a normal business with leads, with scoring, with advertisement, with it is specific, but it works with really common business processes, like any normal business. That's why cybercrime costs almost 2 trillion in a few years. It's like a damage of cyber crimes, and that's why cybersecurity growing really faster, and it will be for good trend for next 10 years. That's why I am and my colleagues will have a lot of job during this decade. And for background, now I'd like to talk just to answer a question session. On the background will be like process of exploitation, WordPress exploitation, just as a background to make some hackers atmosphere. Okay. So, any questions?
What's the most dangerous exploitation?
Most dangerous exploitation? It costs almost 1,000 euro per month, like a software as a service model. It's easy, like you know, like to buy some analytic aggregation system or any normal startup. It's interesting, but maybe 2 years ago it was like a huge investigation process in the United States, and it was arrested the guy from Latvia. He was like best on the market owner of such product from Riga, and this guy was extradited to Latvia, and he has money, so he's in Latvia now, I guess, and he got maybe 10 billion per year in revenue. So it's like a normal business. It's good business with with metrics, with tension, with I don't know, with advertisement suppliers, with specific support team, with engineers, with software developers. It's work like a normal business, but the target is like a true criminal. So the answer is 1,000.
There's the question.
Okay.
How much more secure is popular Linux distribution like Ubuntu? Much better?
Linux is better because of user management model. So in Windows, like a common system, a lot of leaks with escalation of privilege. So that's why I could say yes, Linux is much better. But for example, maybe yesterday it was published a new Samba exploitation kit, and it works exactly the same as WannaCry do. So the Linux machine is not like a panacea or drug. It's like just another way how to lose your control, for example. What's happening here? It is like a guy who trying to keep control on WordPress site. It is about like default CMS for media. So he could make it for a few minutes, just 4 minutes or 4 to 6 minutes, to get admin control. When he will obtain control, he could add some exploitation kits, and all visitors who will visit this website will scan it and will, with a 10% success rate, they will be damaged by viruses, and they got viruses. Okay, that was a part about cybercrime. The main idea, it is it works with rules and laws like a normal business, but it is like a parallel process to normal economy. The more money we have in economy, in white economy, the more money we have in black economy. For example, maybe 80% of whole worldwide damage from cyber crimes, it is about United States. And we know why, because all money in United States, this money is really fast and really automated. So with all this software, with all these networks, it is easy to steal some money from United States. For example, it was a case maybe 4 years ago when the largest like Target company or so, it's like a supermarket, the worldwide famous supermarket chain, and they have leak with POS terminals for cards, and it was like a viruses on these terminals, and these millions of people, they pay by card and they lose their credit card credentials. It was a huge scandal. It was a big investigation, but okay, 50 persons was arrested, and even some of these people was judged to 10 to 20 years, but millions of people lose their money. It's a huge problem, and it's always about balance, because in optimal way you can be over paranoid about your security. It will change your way how you do your daily job, how you use your computer, how you are using your mobile phone during, I don't know, during your working sessions. But you need to keep calm, but do not forget about risks. Okay, talking about cyber security. It's like between cybercrime and business, normal business. We have a few classifications, and one of classification is about solutions. Solutions could be risk and compliance management, unified threat management, security incident management, identity and access management, encryption, intrusion prevention systems, and other. It's about the market niches for cybersecurity. It's about products for companies provided by cybersecurity providers. Services on this market would be professional or managed services. Professional, it's about expertise. For example, you start training on cybersecurity for your employees. It costs you a lot, but it allows you to increase your company's level of security. When we talk about managed service, it's about cloud services and some kind of outsourcing. For example, you buy a set antivirus, it allows you to increase your level of protection, but you need to do more activities to keep all your fronts safe. And deployment type would be cloud or on premises. For example, for many companies and for many critical infrastructure providers, they can't work with cloud technologies because of security reasons. For example, governmental organizations who are working with documents, who are working with private information about companies' accounts, like tax office or pension office. They could use only devices and some software to use it in their data centers. It's really increase the price of these solutions, but for some reasons it is affordable for some large enterprises, for some large companies. For example, if you are a person like normal common people, you could use devices like my colleagues do, like Kuja, to protect like antiviruses, and it's cheap for you, it's affordable for you. It's all about money. You can spend $10,000 per month to keep your data safe because you don't have money for anything else. It makes no sense. We could segment companies on large enterprises and small and medium enterprises. I'm working with small and medium enterprises. And also we could classify the industry verticals and market geography. Almost 70% of worldwide cybersecurity market, it's about North America. The rest, it's Europe and
I wanted
yes.
to ask what kind of mistakes do companies make, like the basic ones in their like cybersecurity field, like what not to do basically.
What not to do? To keep your data safe and to keep your company safe, you need to start and to understand you can be the target. It's not like about target like some guy with a red eye and black hoodie who are sitting at home and who knows about your company and who try to attempt some cybercrime activities. Nowadays it works like a scanners, automated system. For example, to scan worldwide nowadays, you need just 3 to 5 servers with 10 gigabits, and it takes few minutes to have information about worldwide IP address with operation system installed, with fingerprinting, with all this information you could use to make some exploitation. It's easy and it is cheap. So to start something in cybersecurity, you need to care about cybersecurity. You need to understand if you lose, for example, your client's emails and your client's information, it's not a big deal for you. For example, nobody dies, nobody even cries, but this information will be sold not only once, it will be published, and anyone could use this information, for example, to make some social engineering to your bank and to make some damage, money damage for you.
I think if I would use my client's database, I think I would die because my boss would definitely kill me. But is there any tools that companies can use to prevent data loss?
To prevent data loss, no. It is cybersecurity process is not like a silver button, so you can't just to press the button and everything is fine. It's also a process, so you need to have your restrictions, your policies, your activities, daily-based activities to keep your employees involved in cybersecurity process, to keep your even clients involved in cybersecurity process. As you could see in last week's news, even companies like Verizon in the United States and other top-tier companies, they maybe once per few years they lose few millions of records, and it is okay. We deal with it. It's like a normal background for nowadays.
Is it like an educational question? Should you educate your employees and your clients, or you should do something else? I don't know.
You could educate your employees, but you have to use some outsourcing because of money reasons. It's nowadays it's affordable to use some services like outsourcing, like outstaff, to dramatically increase your protection and to protect your website, to protect your computers, to protect your mobile phones. And even here in Vilnius, the last years show me that a lot of companies start to care about it. For example, as we talk about things I do as a daily job, we do specific network system to protect websites. We are working on web security. For example, some of top 10 Lithuanian websites are working on my software. It is not even software, it's like a cloud-based system to prevent some basic types of attacks and to analyze common threats and to analyze trends in how it could be exploited, some vectors, some malicious activities, and we do it well. We do it for many years here in Russia, in Netherlands, in Germany, and it is important to use some systems, some devices. If you could buy some devices and you have money and you have reason why to do it, you should start with it. For nowadays, it costs globally. It costs almost 8% to any small business company to keep data safe. It is like a normal budget share. So you need to spend 8% to grow your company, to keep your clients safe, to keep your own data safe, not even from hackers, but hackers work on your competitors, for example. They could make some activities to destroy your business just because they want it. We provide a free trial for small business here in Vilnius. If you have a company, if you have a website, you could connect it. It's easy and it takes just a few minutes. And for a few weeks, it will be free. Okay? Any questions? Okay. This? Ah, okay. It's about DDoS protection. It's our system called Bouncer, like bouncer in the club, who could segregate normal activities and hackers activities. So he tried. It works on network layer. So by the OCI model, it's like a layer 3, and it works well. Some Lithuanians top 10 websites last year they got a lot of DDoS attacks, and when you trying to reach your favorite website and you got some server's errors like 504 error, it is like looks like DDoS attack in most cases. Also, we have a web application firewall. It is not as a normal web application firewall, but it is machine learning based. So you can't decide what to block because most of common people don't have expertise, and we have, and our system have. So we aggregate the data from all our clients. We learn our algorithms, and it works well. We could use this expertise to prognose, to forecast any activities. Also, we provide free SSL because even now, even here in Vilnius, fast and really technological city, most of, for example, governmental organizations or even some investments, governmental investments funds like Meta, for example, they don't use SSL. It's said, but they don't know about it or don't want. But for all our clients, we force to use filtration. Also, we use a specific machine learning engine, and also we provide performance analysis to keep the status for all backend. Backend, it's like a client's infrastructure. We could recommend some actions according to information we got. We could provide some help according to information we are receiving. Okay, so
maybe some advice on basic network security, like something that you can do in the infrastructure to get your company's network more secure from the
sure, it is easy. You need to keep your network private. For example, you need only one IP address to make it public for public internet. All other things should be like in VPN or in local network. Also, you could use cabling, not Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is really unsafe, to be honest. Wi-Fi is like, okay, talking about black markets, you could buy for $10 you could buy the password for almost all common Wi-Fi networks. So you need just to dump some Wi-Fi traffic by specific sniffer and to upload this dump, and they are using some offline brute force. They trying to find the right key, and they just provide you the finded password. It costs almost nothing. Or you could use fake Wi-Fi access point, as it was on workshop a few hours ago here. It is easy, but if you have only one IP address protected by even by such like a Kuja firewalls, it is helpful. It is pretty helpful, and you need to start care about cybersecurity. This the message you could remember from this lecture. Just start to keep your mind on cybersecurity problems, because you never know when you could be hacked. For example, you have registered on forum, just normal, to talk with friends, to talk with someone, and if this website was hacked, all your login password pair, they are almost on public. And some guys could use this on another services. Common people use the same password on different services, on different devices. For example, maybe you have received something like Skype spam with a link. Just it works in the same way. You have registered in some forms and you lose your password. And some companies even don't tell anyone if they was hacked. It's dangerous. They was hacked, but they don't tell.
Do companies have to tell, the public that they were hacked?
Companies should tell, because if the credentials was leaked, you need to change password, like forced password change, just in a few seconds. And if you store some credit cards or you store some API access to any services, you need to reassure all these things, because it's unsafe. It is about money. You need to prevent your money loss.
Does VPN often good improvement in security when using public Wi-Fi or ordinary Wi-Fi? Or is it just marginal?
Yeah, I got the idea. If you are using public Wi-Fi, VPN is the right solution, I guess.
But is it bulletproof or is it just,
It is dramatically decrease the level of your visibility. So it is a good solution to use Wi-Fi.
Would you
With VPN.
not try to avoid to use Wi-Fi in general? Public, or would you say it's okay to use VPN?
Even few years ago, it was some cybersecurity conference in Vilnius suburban in one hotel, and it was case with fake Wi-Fi access point, just as a prank. It was a conference for cybersecurity guys, and it was like a prank of one of them. There are a lot of specialists from NATO about cybersecurity departments, and nobody cares. So that's why it's good practice to use a VPN during unsafe, unknown networks. Good?
If there is
Okay,
no more
thank you.
questions, then thank you so much. Then again, you can always come to us and ask something in private if you prefer that. Taip pat kviečiam ateiti praeis mūsų žaidimus, pasiimti ESET nemokamą licenciją pusei metų, pasibandyti savo slaptažodžių saugumą su mūsų vaikhakerių martynu, Martininkų Maju. Ir sekanti mūsų paskaita prasidės 1 valandą, jinai bus apie išmanę ugniasenę pučio ir apskritai apie tai, kaip išmanės ugniasenės veikia. Tai kviečiu pasilikti, paskaita bus lietuvių kalba. Ačiū.
Užteks laiko,